Hey, I'm Chris. This is Heaven and Margie, and this is Hanging with the Family. And we're not playing a game and we're not having any guests today. We're just going to talk about some stuff about Disney.
Cool.
And let's start off with how's everything in Florida today, Heaven?
Good, I guess.
Good, good.
Mm-hmm. Rained a little bit.
It was almost 90 today here.
I don't know what it is today here. I've not been out. Well, I've been outside like twice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about at home, Margie? How's everything there?
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
So if you don't know, I'm actually in Indianapolis for my new job. So that is the reason why I am not at home right now. Well, there's a reason why nobody's watching us. So, well, somebody was watching us. But, so one of the things I asked was, what was your favorite ride at Disney? And luckily, Margie gave me two, because the original one I was going to go with, there wasn't very much stuff to go by. So,
Okay. I said I can't pick a favorite, and you said, well, just pick one.
I told your mom the same thing.
I would have picked like three.
I did pick this one.
No, you did not. You
I
were
said
like,
there's two.
Yeah,
but
and
if I had to pick one,
right.
I would choose that one.
Okay, but unfortunately, I don't know if it's because it's a newer ride and stuff like that. I mean, it's what, almost 4 years old?
Yeah.
Something like
But
that.
Coming up in May.
There wasn't a lot.
For June.
There wasn't really a lot to it except for telling you what to expect if you go on the attraction. So we're going to start with Heavens. All right? And we'll see how many of these we actually know, and we can talk about them. So Heaven chose Expedition Everest. So the first thing I have for Expedition Everest, from overhead, is a hidden Mickey.
Huh.
So the mountain itself doesn't exactly make a perfectly round circle, but the tracks come out to make the ears.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
If you can look overhead, which they say only a drone or a small plane flying over can actually see it, or what do you call it? Google Earth. So, I didn't know that. So, but I thought that was pretty neat. I wonder if that makes that the second largest hidden Mickey in Walt Disney World. So, of course, we know the largest hidden Mickeys are at Hollywood Studios, and all you have to do is look at a park map, and or actually go on to My Disney Experience and look at the map there, and you can see the hidden Mickey on there as well.
I wonder if you could see it on like an actual paper park map.
I don't know, because I don't think it looks down on a paper park map.
You have access to that, you need to look.
I have access to that. Everybody does.
How do I have access to that?
Can't you get a map from like Disney Springs or something?
Of the park?
Yeah. Don't they have
I don't think so.
everywhere?
Not for every park. I think it's just for the park you're at. And unfortunately, I don't have access to Hollywood Studios at this time.
All right. So the second one, I think we all knew. They have a miniature shrine of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get down, you can actually line the shrine up with the mountain. And also right there is also a photo op. And there's also a, what do you call that, like a telescope that is actually fixed on the mountain there. So you can actually look at it. So I don't think that was a big one, really.
From what I've heard, though, they're not actually great pictures from that area.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So the next one is the big mountain is in Everest.
Wow.
The big mountain is the Forbidden Mountain, and that's the actual part of the ride what you're on whenever you're on the ride. So I think that's weird because we all know Everest is supposed to be the tallest mountain in the world.
Right.
So I don't know if they created a fictional mountain or if there is a forbidden mountain and they for some reason made it bigger because of the ride. I don't know.
Interesting.
All right. Number 4, Imagineers brought tons of plant life to match what's there in Tibet or Nepal. And what they couldn't bring that wouldn't live there, of course, they found whatever would be similar. So they could make the ride actually look like it was there where Everest is. So I always think that's interesting that they did that kind of stuff. The totem poles are authentic.
Really?
They were actually carved by actual Nepalese wood carvers. So they
That's
said
cool.
that the Imagineers and Disney likes to actually make their ride as authentic as possible. So bringing in those totems was something that they wanted to do. All right, number 6, light fixtures aren't actual light fixtures.
What are they?
So, well, I think they're supposed to represent like tea leaves, because that area was supposed to be like a place for tea, or like a warehouse for tea, or where they made tea. So that's what those are. So I don't think I ever really paid attention to light fixtures. I don't know. Heaven's probably been on it several times. Maybe she's noticed them. No. The steam from the train is an illusion.
I don't think I've ever noticed that there was steam coming from the train.
It's actually coming up out from underneath the track whenever the train gets to that part of the track.
But where does it come out at?
There must be something underneath the
But I meant,
track.
like, when does the steam come out?
I think I have seen a picture.
Doesn't it come out right there before you take off?
Like in the, like when you're in the station?
Yeah, I think, doesn't it?
I don't know. I'm always placed real close to the back.
All right, number 8, don't worry, the Yeti's not bad.
Yeah, he's trying to help us.
Well, I mean, the thing is the Nepalese or the Tibetans, they see the Yeti as the guardian of the mountain, and he's only doing his job, which is guarding the mountain, and we're just trespassing on his territory.
But I've also heard that, like, he's trying to keep us from going that way to the broken track.
Ah, okay.
That makes sense.
But then, of course, there's one I don't have that Heaven points out to us all the time. When you're on the...
it's the first lift.
Yeah, the first lift, you can see
the
other 3
lift?
parts. Yeah.
It's the lift that goes through the tunnel.
Yeah. Yep. You can see the 3 other parks. You almost have to break your neck to do it.
But you can't do it.
You can do it. You can see Epcot, you can see Hollywood Studios, and you can see the Magic Kingdom from that lift hill. Yeah.
Because the castle is actually really small.
It'd be really neat to be on that and be able to catch like the fireworks.
Oh, that would be awesome. But you never will, because the park is closed. Animal Kingdom usually closes before Magic.
9 o'clock?
Yeah, Animal Kingdom usually closes at 8.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought because of their nighttime show, which they're doing away with that nighttime show, and they're going to bring another nighttime show in. So they're saying they want to make it better now. Speaking of nighttime shows, so I'm going to get off the subject just a little bit. They're working on Harmonious again, and they're saying Harmonious is going to be the largest nighttime show they've ever done. Oh. And from the way it sounds, it's going to have characters and everything like that, from what I was reading. So I don't know if Epcot Forever will come back, because what's replacing the River of Light, they are taking parts from Epcot's Forever to use to make that nighttime show over in Animal Kingdom. So what they were talking about is like the jet skis with the kites. They're going to be using. Cool. Yeah. So
I don't know. Maybe Animal Kingdom does close later than 8 on normal nights. We haven't had a normal night in so long that
Right.
I don't remember
I'm not sure we're
anything.
ever gonna have a normal night for a while.
We're not.
So we're gonna move on over. I guess I actually have. Let's see. I have one thing from one of Margie's that she did say that I did not know about, but we'll do the one I had to pick. So Margie, she picked 2. Hey Kay, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Kay.
So Margie's
Kay.
favorite, she picked 2. The first one I had to go with because there wasn't very much information on the one that she actually picked. So Peter Pan's Flight. So it's an opening day attraction.
I love that ride.
Why?
I don't know. It's like
I just don't understand it. Like, I like the ride. I do. I don't understand why people wait hours for it.
because you're flying over Neverland. You're flying over. I mean, what's not to love about it?
Yeah. Do you know how many times I've done it?
Okay, so if maybe if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't like feel that way. But that is if I had to pick one ride to ride in the Magic Kingdom, that's the ride I
And you would
choose.
wait for it?
Most definitely.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
It's
Number-
fine. I just don't get it.
Number 2 for Peter Pan's Flight is there is a reason you feel like you're flying. And that's because it's suspended. You're suspended from the track. So, like I said, there's going to be a few here that we already kind of knew. So since we already knew that, we'll just go on. It's in every Disney park except one.
Really?
Huh.
It is
Didn't know that.
not in Hong Kong.
Ah, that's the one I was going to guess, though.
Yes.
Interesting. I think I'm gonna. Maybe that could be one of your reaction videos.
Maybe you could just go and ride them.
How could I do a reaction video to a ride that doesn't exist?
I thought you said it was in every park.
Every park except for Hong Kong.
Yeah, so she's saying you should do a reaction video to all of them in the other parks.
I think most of them. I would do that. But the thing is I think there's not much of a change to them because I've seen the Disneyland.
I've heard
one.
ours is better.
Really? I don't know
Yeah.
because there's one coming up here pretty soon. You might think otherwise.
I was
All
just
right.
saying I've heard ours is better, but I don't understand why Mom couldn't just go and ride them at these other parks instead of having to do a video.
So number 4 is originally you were supposed to be Peter Pan.
Huh, did not know that part either.
But when it opened up, guests were upset that they rode the ride and didn't see Peter.
Well, makes sense.
So eventually Disney changed the ride and included the scenes like what you see at the end. I don't think it happened at Walt Disney World. That's not when it happened. It happened when it opened at Disneyland.
That makes sense.
So they
Yeah.
changed it and put Peter, he's in the end actually if you really think about it.
Yeah, I don't
So.
think I would want to. I don't think I would like it if I was supposed to be Peter. I would want to see him in there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's actually named after him. You want to see him somewhere in
I
the
totally
ride.
get that.
Well, I mean, it's called Peter Pan's Flight, so like it also makes sense that like he's the one flying. Yeah.
You're the So, but yeah,
I got
that
a
was
joke
one of the
for you,
things.
too.
It's kind of like, hold on, it's kind of like them opening up Walt Disney World and not putting Pirates of the Caribbean in because they figured because you're in Florida, you already got enough of that. And then when they
Right.
opened up, everybody was like, "Where's Pirates of the Caribbean?"
Where's the pirates?
And what was it? I think they put it in 1973, actually.
I'm not sure. I know it was shortly after park open.
Yeah.
So your dad always says it's Peter Pan's Flight.
That I don't
So-
think he always says that. He made the mistake one time, and he was like, "What is?"
I think he
Peter?"
does it on purpose.
Well, it would probably be called that if I had to wait too long in line.
I'm sure it's probably been called that for other reasons too.
All right. Number 5. It has one of the best interactive queues.
Oh yes, I'm so
Its
glad we got
queue
to
is
do that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Did you guys know? I think I've said this on here before, but I unfortunately had to figure out that the bells lower to your height.
Yes, you told me that.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a video of me walking up to them, and the bells go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, what in the heck?
Nah.
I like it when Tinkerbell comes out.
That's my favorite thing is that there was one day I had to go in there to check that it was all working. And she does it so slow. I just needed her to go to the next room. And she popped up in the interactive play and she was in the cage and I reached up and smacked the cage and she went to where I needed her to. And I was like, all right, that was cool.
All right. So number 6 is you board with a different type of Omni mover ramp. So what I'm talking about is it's got a ramp that is like the Haunted Mansion, or it is like what is it? Is it Ariel's?
Mhm.
And also does the Seas with Nemo have an
Yep.
okay.
And
But
Buzz.
the difference is it doesn't
Little
stop.
Cam's Flight is not an Omni mover.
Okay.
It does stop. It just doesn't. I mean, like obviously it has to stop. Like we have to turn it off sometimes.
Right.
We don't have the ability to like Omni movers are able to slow down. We don't have any kind of control over the speed of the ride.
That
Right.
makes sense.
So.
Which is confusing sometimes because since it does work like you have the belts and everything like an Omni mover, and it's continuously moving and you're getting on like you do other Omni movers, people get really confused and they want to know why you can't slow it down. It's just because it's not actually an Omni mover.
Right. Right. So number 7 is the blocks in the nursery. Pay attention to them because the one up by Wendy's bed spells Disney, and the other set of blocks, I can't remember where they said, spells Pan.
Oh. I don't think I ever noticed that.
I don't think I ever did. I was always looking for the car from Mr. Toad.
Yeah, that's in there too.
Mr. Toad's in there. No, Mr. Toad's over on Winnie the Pooh's ride.
Yeah, that's what someone said. I've never noticed it though.
Yeah, there's a picture. It's like almost right behind the door when you go through.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know the difference between Peter Pan and an Omni mover, other than the fact that it doesn't slow down?
What's that?
They don't move with the same speed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the boat.
Well, I guess you just said that.
What?
Well, you said you could. It moves at one speed. You said you couldn't slow it down.
Yeah, but I mean, like the boats don't move the same.
They don't move the same as the
Like,
ramp itself. It's not the same
they,
speed.
They move the same speed as the belts and everything, but like each boat is moving separately. Whereas in other Omni movers and other rides, they move at the exact same speed. They're the exact same space apart, but
I gotcha.
not. You could have a gap like this come through. You could have a gap like this come through.
Would it be almost like a miniature Skyliner, actually?
I guess.
Well, I guess Skyliner does have gaps, but when it comes to the end, they don't.
Yeah, I don't really know how the Skyliner works to compare it to that.
Right.
All right. Number 8, forced perspective is used on the ride. It is made to make you feel like you are higher than what you really are.
Yep.
So
there are very small things in there.
Especially, I mean, of course, the London part. Whenever you fly over, you can tell that's forced perspective.
My favorite part of the ride.
And I believe the one there at Walt Disney World, their scene of London is better than the one that's in Disneyland, from what I understand.
I've never actually watched the one from Disneyland.
So, all right, number 8 is okay. Number 9. Do you know where the hidden Mickey is?
Okay, so I've heard people come in and ask for where the hidden Mickey in the trees are. I don't know where a hidden Mickey in the trees are, but
that's not the one I have.
The one hidden Mickey that I ever knew about on the ride was the cookies on the table right there as you enter the nursery. Like as soon as you take off, there's cookies on the right-hand side on the table. And when they refurbished the ride, they took those out.
Oh, I never noticed them.
This says, if you look at the moon, the craters at a right angle, at just a right angle, makes a hidden Mickey on the moon.
I'll have to look for that. That's interesting.
No, I've always looked, I found it finally, but the hidden Mickey on the Haunted Mansion, that's in the dining room. while
Oh,
they're dancing the table.
Right,
there's
right.
also a Donald in Haunted Mansion.
Oh, really?
You know, when you get to the part, you just passed the bats and the bat eyes and everything, and you're about to go down the hallway with all the doors. And you turn and you look straight ahead and you're looking down a hallway. To your left of that hallway is a chair, and the pattern on the chair is a hidden Donald.
So for number 10 being how long it's usually a wait, it has a short ride time.
It does have a short ride time, but that
Yes.
wait time sometimes is awful.
2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yep.
And sometimes we wait an hour and 40 minutes to ride it.
And then last but not least, Shanghai Disneyland's is different. Their ride vehicle is different. It
Oh.
accommodates 4 people.
Okay.
And the vehicles can stop and slow down.
That's cool.
Interesting.
So theirs might be an Omni mover.
It might be, but also they could have looked at the one at Disneyland and the one at Disney World and seen where they can make improvements. Because of course, Shanghai isn't Shanghai the newest one.
The one at Disney World stops for people to get on it too.
Does it? Yeah, but you got to shut down the whole thing, don't you? Or
I don't know, but Disney World stops theirs for the boat stops for them to get on it. I don't know if it stops for
Right.
I doubt it stops for everyone in the ride, but we can't
right.
stop for people to get on it.
So Margie's other ride, which I only have one thing for that I could really find that I didn't know, and I'm sure I don't know. Heaven might know. I don't know. Flight of Passage
I really love that ride.
actually has layers like soaring. When you're actually viewing a ride, there are people below you on the same ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I
don't
didn't
know.
either.
That ride just is so emotional.
You guys really didn't know that?
No, we didn't. I didn't know that.
You never noticed that when we exit, there's like people coming out stairs lower than you?
I did, but I just thought they were in a different. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't know they were looking at the same screen we were looking at.
Interesting.
So I wonder which level gives you the better showing, because there has been some times where I felt like we were looking down on everything. So I wonder if you got in the middle, if it was.
I've never actually had an experience where I've noticed, like how I said, I've noticed things are tilted and soaring and everything. I've never actually had that on Flights of Passage.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And,
that ride is just, I don't even know how to describe it. It almost makes me cry when
Rachel.
I ride it, because
it's awesome.
It's so emotional.
It is. It's an awesome ride. So
I don't know.
She wants to see Winston.
Well, he's being a pain in the butt today, Rachel. I don't know.
I can't believe that there was ever. Who?
Say hi.
Hi, Winston.
Say hi.
Hey, Sucargo. Cargo. Actually, I don't.
Winston.
Gonzo calls you Sue Cargo. I know it's So Cargo. So.
I'm still kind of like, I can't believe that I ever actually jumped when riding it the first time, where the cattle come up and like rear into each other.
What's that on?
On Flights of Passage.
Are they cattle? Are they like rhinoceros, or I don't know what they are?
I got what they're not the horses that they ride?
Maybe, I don't know. I just thought it was cattle.
Oh wow, I don't really remember.
The other dog is Frank, Rachel.
Oh, VP says middle center is best.
Really?
I've just never noticed
I guess
difference.
I've never noticed what
Thanks for coming in, VP.
we were on.
Yeah, I don't
how
ever
would
notice
you
where
know?
we're at.
Like,
right.
I guess
like
that's something
at
I'll pay
least it
attention
looks
to.
sore and you see that kind of stuff. But with that, you're so like secluded.
I kind of like that it's hidden and you don't know what one you're on.
Yeah. But I know this, that it's when it's like you're on your individual ride.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what was it? They were saying that was they put in the seat I can't remember, but it uses an air compressor to make it feel like
the
Banshee's
Banshee's
breathing between your
breathing.
legs. Yes.
Oh,
The
Um,
funny
that's
thing
an
is, I don't
amazing ride.
remember that the first time we rode it. I didn't notice it until the
Really?
second time. Yeah, I didn't notice it until the second time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it was just because of what we were seeing
Well,
took
the
away
second
from.
time you guys wrote it the first time without me. Would the second time have been I told you guys about it and you probably maybe paid a little more attention?
Could
Right.
have been.
Because I think I did tell you guys about that. But
But
I think it's cool that because you actually drop like floor levels and stuff. I'm sure they wouldn't recommend it because you probably get dizzy or something. But like I like turning around and looking behind me, and you can see the floor rising and lowering and rising.
Oh, yeah.
Never noticed that.
Really? Well, I mean, you have to turn around and look away from the ride. So
well, you could tell by whenever I recorded it from back in the area,
Oh, yeah.
because you could see it going up because it would block the camera.
Yeah.
So, but it looks like you can, if you attach a GoPro to your wrist, you can actually record it that way. Because I've actually seen them doing that.
It's an amazing ride, that's for sure.
It is. It is.
awesome.
All right. So for the next ride, so if you just came in, the first ride we went over was Heaven's favorite ride, and this is like, I told her you had to pick a ride that you have to do at Walt Disney World, and she picked Expedition Everest.
It's just so much harder for me to choose now because I live here. I don't have to do a ride.
Right.
And even if I have
know.
to do one, like, well, I'm not going to do it that day because I'm not going to the park that day.
Right. Not everybody lives there. I mean, I think
know.
VP understands. You know, he's probably got the same problem where it's hard for him to pick one ride that he always has to ride because he lives really close and can go whenever he goes.
We discussed that once before too. Is when we go, personal opinion, I feel like we have to do everything because I don't know when I'm going to get to go again.
Right.
And I just want to make sure that I ride everything but the Astro Orbiter.
Right.
Rachel, I'm not allowed in Hollywood Studios right now.
I thought it said, I'm surprised you're not working.
No, the bottom she said, please go to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, well, yeah. Today's one of Heaven's days off, so that's why we switched the two when she went back to work. So if you remember, Hanging with the Family used to be on Tuesdays, and then Disney Fan Art with Chris was on Wednesdays, and we just swapped them so we could still have Heaven on. So anyhow, I can run through some of the stuff if you weren't in here, just real quick. Why do I have 4 sheets? Oh, I know why. All right, so Heavens was Expedition Everest. We won't talk very much about like we did before, but the first one is Expedition Everest. Is from overhead is a hidden Mickey, which means that the base of the mountain actually is the body of the head, and then the tracks that come out actually make the ears. We talked about the little shrine. I think everybody knows about the little shrine. If you see it, it's over by a photo op. You can actually get down and line it up with the actual mountain. The biggest mountain there isn't Everest. The mountain that the ride is on isn't Everest. It's Forbidden Mountain. The plant life. The Imagineers actually brought plant life from Tibet and Nepal, but some wouldn't live in Florida, so they got what was similar. The totem poles are authentic. They were actually carved by wood carving or Nepalese wood carvers. The light fixtures aren't actually light fixtures. The ones that look like tea leaves, it was actually put in there to make it look, because it was supposed to look like a tea place or I think it was like maybe almost like a warehouse or tea or something like that. Number 7, the steam from the train is an illusion. It's not coming from the train. It's actually coming up from underneath the tracks to make it look like it's coming from the train. And the last one is the Yeti is not bad. What it is the Nepalese and the Tibetans see the Yeti as the guardian of the mountain, and he's just protecting the mountain. No, I'm not at home. I'm actually away. I'm in Indianapolis, where been having to do training. So, and then for Margie's, which she picked 2, and the number 1 she picked, I couldn't find very much on because I don't think the ride's been around that long. But the other one was Peter Pan's, which it's an open day attraction. I think a lot of people knew that Peter Pan was an open day attraction. That was number 1. Number 2 is there is a reason you feel like you are flying. It's because you're suspended. I'm sorry, I was reading. I've ridden so many times, and while it's the best, all are fine. Bottom is my favorite. Okay.
Yes, we are Chicago Cubs fans. All of us.
It
Yeah.
says, are you a Bears fan, though? We're not a Bears fan.
No, we're not Bears fans.
Oh, I thought it said a Chicago Cubs. Sorry.
All right.
That's
So
last one.
this is for once again. This is for Peter Pan's flight. It is in every Disney park except Hong Kong Disneyland. All right. Number 5. It's one of the best interactive queues. We all agree on that. It's probably, I would almost say, it's the best interactive queue they have. All right. Number 6. You board with a different type of Omni mover ramp. Heaven says it's not an Omni mover ramp, but a lot of people associate it with an Omni mover ramp.
It's not an Omni mover. It's the same
Right.
kind of ramp.
Right.
But the ride itself is not an Omni mover.
The blocks in the nursery, one set spells out Disney, the other set spells out Pan. Number 8, the ride uses forced perspective to make you feel like you're higher. She can't go to Galaxy's Edge, Rachel. She's blocked. So, the hidden Mickey that obviously Margie's talked about a different hidden Mickey, and Heaven said there was a hidden Mickey that for the cookies that were actually, but that's been removed. Hey, Kat, thanks for coming in. The one that I found was there's a hidden Mickey on the moon. If you look at the moon just right, the craters line up and make a hidden Mickey. It's a short ride at 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and Shanghai Disney's ride vehicle is different than the other ones. It accommodates 4 people, and the vehicle can stop and slow down. And then, of course, we did the Soarin'. So we're actually to the last one, and that would be mine, which I think everybody knows what my favorite ride is. Correct?
Yes.
My favorite ride is the Jungle Cruise.
Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, what?
What do you mean?
You said, I think everybody knows what my favorite ride is. And I was like, do I? I forgot.
So, number 1 for the Jungle Cruise is Tokyo Disneyland's Jungle Cruise was the first to move clockwise. So the boats go around this way instead of around this way. So, and then 2, when it debuted, it was meant to be a serious ride.
Not so serious now.
No, and I think they said the person who wrote it, wrote the actual script, was only put a couple of jokes in. It wasn't supposed to. It was serious, but there was a couple of jokes in there. But what was I going to say? The person who wrote the script, I'm trying to think who he was. He's the voice of the old Disney nature movies. He was one of the voices that did those. All right. Number 3, Walt wanted live animals. But, of course, experts had to tell him that a lot of animals that are nocturnal, and during the day, all the people would see are sleeping animals. So that's when he decided to go to something he can control when he went to audio animatronics. No, we're not Chicago Bear fans. No,
Sorry, I said yes. I
if
thought you said Cubs.
Dad, I think some of your comments are coming up a little bit late, too.
Right. We're actually Indianapolis Colts fans if we watch football. All right. Let's see. Walt drove a car through the riverbed to promote the ride, which would be at Disneyland. So when he did his, his show when he was promoting Disneyland, they drove the car through, and I think what it was the car he was driving actually gave you about the same height that the boat would, whenever you went through, and gave you the same perspective.
Okay.
So he drove it through before they filled the water in. All right. Number 5, it's the ride that led Walt to view his park as never being complete. And what it was he seen a little boy and his mother walking through, and the little boy wanted to go on to the jungle ride, as he called it. And his mother said, no, we've already done that the last time we was here. So Walt realized that if it seemed the same every single time, people would stop going, so he would have to start changing things to make things fresh. So, so this kind of brings us to, if you think about it, Splash Mountain being changed, the Great Movie Ride being changed, and of course there's been other stuff that's been changed. And there are still things being changed today. Ellen, yes. So.
Mr. Toad, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. Number 6. Some skippers have gone on to bigger things. To name a few, Kevin Costner was a Jungle Cruise skipper.
Really?
Yep. And Ron Ziegler, who was Nixon's press secretary, was a Jungle Cruise skipper.
Oh.
All right. Here's one, and Heaven, you're going to appreciate this one. Inside jokes in the queue. All right. One of the barrels is addressed Thomas Kirk, Esquire, M. Jones, Cartographer, Limited, Field Office, Island of Borodano. All right. So a lot of this has to do with the Swiss Family Robinson. And the big one is the guy's last name's Arthur. He went on to play in the original Hawaii Five-0 as Dano.
Oh.
So when it comes to Borodano on there, it's actually referring to the old Hawaii Five-0.
Nice.
So, because he was the actor who played in the Swiss Family Robinson as one of them. So, all right, number 8. The Jungle Cruise movie was planned before the one that they've got coming out next year. And it was supposed to star Tim Allen and Tom Hanks. But it got scrapped. So they said, the way the thing said, it was like Buzz Lightyear and Woody meets Jumanji. That's what they said.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
I would like that. I hope someone makes that.
Right. And the last one for this is Disneyland's Jungle Cruise features a palm tree that predates the park.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but yeah, so I don't know. I sometimes I think back on why something's not my favorite or why something is my favorite. And I just remember as a kid, when they did change it to where they had the jokes, I just remember laughing so hard I was crying when I was a kid. And I just think that's why I love that ride. It just always brings those good memories back. And I think that's what's great about Disney is you can go and it just brings memories back of when you were a kid or when you had gone there before. And
well, what I think is even cool about that is I think that when you go on the ride, you notice that a lot of the jokes, those kids don't even really understand. They're laughing. Right. Everyone else is laughing.
Right. Oh, that was another one they used to do, and this was, I think it was in Disneyland. All right, so the Jungle Cruise was actually based on the old Humphrey Bogart movie, The African Queen. Now, I remember watching that because my dad made me watch old movies when I was a kid. But it had Humphrey Bogart and was it Katharine Hepburn, I think. So at one time, and this would have been at Disneyland, I don't know if it was at Walt Disney World, when you got to Trader Sam's, one of the shrunken heads looked like Katharine Hepburn. So it was kind of
Get down, please.
a thing to the African queen. So, but as I was saying, things now. I know Margie loves Epcot, and on my list, Epcot is the last for me. And
Really?
one of the reasons, and this all has to do with your papaw, what he did, my dad, if you didn't know this, at one time he did not like going to Disney World. He did not like going.
Does he actually like going now?
Yeah, for the food.
The dining plan. But he got upset while we were at Epcot and made us run from attraction to attraction, and we seen the whole thing in one day. So that's why I remember. I remember it wasn't a good day, and I think that's one of the reasons why I just don't enjoy it.
So that's weird because I have the complete opposite thing. I used to not like Epcot because I thought you both loved Epcot so much, and when we would go there, we would just go to the countries and we'd spend so much time in the countries. And as a kid, the countries aren't fun.
Yeah.
They're just not. And like, sure, they had all the KitKat stuff, but you guys would make us do the KitKat stuff so that we would have fun. And so growing up, I was like, I hate Epcot. And then I got here and everyone's like, why do you hate it? You can drink there. And I'm like,
yeah,
I just don't like it. But now I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick something favorite of mine to do at Epcot is to go back there and explore those different places. Now, of course, when it comes to rides, my favorite ride there is Soarin'. I know Gonzo gets upset because his is Test Track.
Hi.
But hi, Haley.
Hi, Dad.
I guess
You could have joined us. You know that, right?
I'm busy.
Oh.
I guess it does kind of make sense. Though now I've mentioned a lot of times that there were a lot of the countries that I didn't actually know they had places that you could go inside. And I guess if you didn't really like it, that makes sense to me. I honest to God really thought Italy was just that front part. I didn't even know there was a back part to Italy that you could go into.
Right.
Same thing with France though. I didn't know you could go into France. I thought you just walked through.
Don't you feel too that maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I sometimes feel like you need more than one day to go through all the countries.
To properly explore them, yeah.
Right. Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Marge.
There's just really, to me, it doesn't seem like there's a lot to do in Future World anymore.
Right now there's not.
And everything, but
I miss when they had all of the interventions and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. I went in and I saw the house and I was like, oh my God, the house, let's go. And Katie and Kiana were like, what are we talking about? And I was like, the smart house. And then we walked over there and I was like, oh my God, it's closed.
Yeah, Rachel, I knew that about Prince Charming. I did not know that about Cinderella. That might be a Disneyland
has a bow
thing.
on its tail. No, they have it at ours.
Do they have it as well?
Yeah, I don't actually think the one at Disneyland is Prince Charming's Regal Carousel. I think it's something else, isn't it?
I'm not for sure.
But there's a Prince Charming horse and a Cinderella horse on Prince Charming's Regal Carousel.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be neat if they did a carousel there and make a small one there at Epcot in the UK and actually put the Mary Poppins and the Burt horse.
That's what I had heard that when they said she's getting the attraction there or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I heard it was. But then someone else said that's not what it is. I don't know. I had heard rumors that's what it was going to be, but I don't know how true that is.
Right.
And then one of my friends told me that they had heard a rumor about something else, and I'm like, I have no idea. I think the carousel would be cool.
Now, have you heard the rumors of what they... I think they're just rumors. I don't think Disney's made any plans of what they're going to do with Dinoland USA.
I have no idea. I've not heard any. I just heard that, Primeval World's closed for good, but last I heard it was, I don't know. Like I said, I just work here. I don't actually know any of the things that happen.
So I think it's not rumors, maybe they're suggestions, but one rumor is to make it an Indiana Jones land. And since Dinosaur runs on the same ride system as the Indiana Jones Adventure in Disneyland and Tokyo, that they should give us a version of the Indiana Jones ride there in Walt Disney World. And then I also heard they were talking about making that part South America, but it would also be dedicated to Indiana Jones.
That'd be cool. Although I
But-
really would prefer to keep Dinosaur.
Right. But you could keep the archaeology part because Indiana
He's
Jones
an
is an archaeologist. So,
Katie and Brian went to Animal Kingdom today, and Brian said he forgot how scary Dinosaur was.
now, the second suggestion, and I think Heaven's really going to like this one. Somebody said they ought to change it from Dinoland USA to Zootopia.
Yeah, I've heard that. I would really like that.
Yeah.
Well, like somewhat. I would like it and I want it because I do like the way things are right now. But like we just talked about, you have to keep changing things.
Right.
That's like when there was a rumor that they were going to change everything. They were going to change, what's it called? Rock and Roller Coaster to the Monsters, Inc. ride. I think that would have been awesome. But I really like Rock and Roller Coaster. I would have missed
do
that.
too. But you got to think. So, I mean, you're talking about Epcot changing, right? If you look at Hollywood Studios, it's changed. It used to be based on an actual studio, and now it's not. And but I keep hearing things that they're going to try and make that one part a studio again, but I just don't see how they could do it. Now, I did hear that they're talking about, what is that? The show, the Little Mermaid show? We were talking about this.
The Little Mermaid.
They're going to do away with it.
Well, I mean, it's very outdated.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It is. I would love to see them try to do like the one they have in Japan, where it's King Triton's concert, and Ariel is on wires, and looks like she's floating over the audience and everything like that. And for King Triton, they use the projections for his face, and then they use puppets for other parts, like they do for the Nemo show. Yeah. So I like how they incorporated those three parts just to do that show.
Right.
So, and then of course, go ahead.
I really like the Nemo show, but I know neither of you like it.
I don't know what.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's awesome. And we were just talking about how like that's the only
yes, Kat, she's crocheting. Yes.
That's the only other place that you hear the Big Blue World song other than the ride. And I really thought it was in the movie.
Well, what's funny is the King Tritons, I think maybe it's not at Tokyo, maybe it's at Hong Kong. Or it might be at Shanghai. I know it's one of those over there. It actually has an original song in that I'd never heard of, but it sounds so like that Asian pop. So if they were to bring it here,
so like K-pop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's got that kind of Asian sound. Of course, it's all in an Asian language over there.
Right.
But I meant like the Jungle Cruise I just did the other day for a reaction video. It was in English. So I think it was Hong Kong, was it? I did it? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So it was actually in English. It was a cute ride. I wouldn't say it was my favorite of all the Jungle Cruises due to the fact they don't have the waterfall and you don't go through a temple. But
yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. So, and then of course, the puns and the dad jokes aren't in there, of course. But there are parts funny because I think what it is because it's kind of hard to translate puns and jokes from another another language, and have the same meaning. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I guess.
So when you said that Hollywood was changing, I remember when you and I went in '93.
Yeah.
We went. I don't know if it was like on the back lot. I think it was the back lot tour.
Yeah, the Baccarat.
I missed that too.
So they had when we were there, I remember somebody just posted this in the Disney Attic page. Does anybody remember this? The lottery starring Bette Midler. I remember them showing us when that lottery
wasn't
ticket blew away.
Right. I don't think that was that part of the backlot tour?
Yeah,
or was
I believe it was.
I thought that because it actually had to do because they actually filmed it there where the New York scene was.
But I remember that, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I remember that when Chris and I went in '93. So it was kind of interesting to think about that. I mean,
right. And I know VP. I don't know if he's still in here. I know he loved that. What's lights?
Oh, the
Lights, motor, action.
Yeah, I did after seeing it once.
That's what I thought I liked.
Yeah, after seeing that once, I didn't care to see it again. I felt like once I'd seen it, which is funny because sometimes I feel that way about the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, but then we go and then it's just to me, it's just it's entertaining. It's just entertaining. So, but like I said, I just wonder if they would do that to Indiana Jones over there. Would they do away with that show? And I thought if they did away with that show, that is holding a lot of real estate over there. That
you know what? One show you won't feel bad. You won't ever feel like that with.
What's that?
Frozen sing along.
Frozen.
I think after our first show, the first time you guys watch it, you'll never again get the same show.
No.
No. It's so good too.
You have one of their tech guys go missing.
What was his name? What, Milton? Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
That's what they said, Milton.
Yeah. But well, I like it way better than American Idol. That used to be there. So.
Yeah, I like
American Idol.
I'm not a real big Frozen fan, but that was really good.
But I think most of the change anymore is they're just going to where it's more of Disney or what Disney owns is what they're doing. So now I've heard people say, well, I'm afraid our Tower of Terror is going to become like the one in Disneyland. Well, the thing is one, it's the icon now of Hollywood Studios. Two, it fits the theme of Hollywood, which Hollywood Studios, I mean, the whole entire thing is meant to look like old Hollywood, like you're walking down like back in the 1920s. So I don't think they'll ever change that, let alone that Tower of Terror. There's not another Tower of Terror like it. It was built one way and the rest of them were built another way. The rest of them just go up and down the same elevator shaft, where this one goes up one shaft, moves over, and drops you down the other.
Right.
So,
Mom, Rachel wants to know when you're going to Disneyland.
I don't know. I don't really have I don't really want to go. I don't know why.
But
yes, you do.
I gotta
because you're a big baby.
No, I'm not a baby.
You're stubborn.
So is there anything well, we were talking about Peter Pan's flight. There is one thing you and I went to look for that's kind of related to Peter Pan's flight.
Oh yeah,
but
we kind of found it.
We did find it. It's hard because he said weeds. I don't think they're like weeds. I think it's just,
the
plants.
Yeah.
Yes. But there's a hidden Tinkerbell over at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And Heaven and I, when I was there, was it in August when I was there? Last year? Not last year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. We went to look for it, and the guy said, unfortunately, you can't see it because of basically vegetation had grown up in front of it. So.
No, it was last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
It was, yeah, because I came down there twice, didn't I?
August and November.
Yeah.
There's also a hidden Donald in the Enchanted Tales of Belle.
Oh wow.
Queue in the window.
Awesome.
And there's a hidden Why can't I think of his name? Oh my gosh, what's the rabbit's name?
Oh, okay, Rachel. It's called King Arthur's Carousel there. Yeah, they're at
That's what
Walt,
I thought.
yeah, they're at Walt Disney World. It's called Prince Charming's Regal Carousel now.
Why can't
So,
I think of that rabbit's name?
what rabbit?
Walt's rabbit.
Whose? Oswald?
Yes, thank you. There's also a hidden Oswald just outside of Enchanted Tales of Belle.
Oh, wow. But
I don't know if I could point that one out if I tried. They showed it to me once, and
right. Now get this. And I'm going to be promoting for Gonzo, of course. Gonzo is planning on doing a video on the golf courses.
Oh, nice.
cool.
Yeah, because he says, I've never really seen anybody do it. I think he's planning to go play golf at one of them. So
Does he play golf?
He plays golf. So
Like Eric plays golf?
no, not like Eric plays golf.
If he's watching this, I'm sorry.
You do know Eric watches my videos.
I didn't mean it in a bad way, Eric.
I still wish I had that video I took of him when he told me he could play golf and we went to play. That was hilarious. But yeah,
I can't say anything because I would probably golf like Eric, or worse, probably.
I can't golf.
no, I don't know. Your guys' putt skills aren't that great either.
There
so.
you go. See,
I can't go with you. Although Katie claims that I sucked, so
But so we got about 4 minutes. Is there anything you guys want to add in, or
what's your least favorite ride, Heaven?
my least favorite ride. There's a couple.
how about okay?
Least
Are we
favorite ride
talking
at
about
Magic
least
Kingdom.
favorite ride or a ride you don't have to ride if you were like us and you come down once a year? Is there a
There
ride?
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us what you guys' choices are too.
Well, my least favorite ride is It's Tough to Be a Bug because it's stupid. My ride, it's not really a ride that I don't think I have to ride. It's just I think it's pointless. And I've told you guys this before, this is a giant debate up amongst Fantasyland, or at least amongst my part of Fantasyland. Astro Orbiter sucks.
Yeah, I would second that.
Like, it is pointless. Although Ellie loves it because she thinks it's a great view of the fireworks, or at least that's where she wants to be when the fireworks are happening. That's my go.
What's yours, Chris? What could you do without?
I could do without what is that? The Tomorrowland Speedway.
Oh my God, you just took mine.
You know, if they would update them and go to electric cars, I think it would be something I'd want to do. But unfortunately,
we had
they're
this
not.
conversation the other day when we were there, and it's like Katie and Kiana said, like, it's supposed to be similar to a racetrack, and you don't even get to race. Like, takes
Kay
away the
doesn't
fun.
care for the bug show either, Heaven.
Yeah, well, because it sucks. It's dumb. Stop poking me in the back. Stop running under my butt. Like,
That Margie
Leave me alone.
traumatized her when she was a kid.
yeah. You know they laugh at me now because I know when the things happen, I don't even sit all the way back in the seat. At the end of the show, I'm ready to stand before anything happens. I know when to plug my nose.
We got a chat going on over here. I want to see. Did you know Prince Charming's Regal Carousel there have Prince Charming? Right. Okay. Never mind. So, but yeah.
So next week we'll be back to the game, hopefully.
Right. And yeah, maybe we might. So there's going to be weeks where we're going to have guests. So I think 15 minutes usually we can get to know the guests pretty well, right? Asking the questions we ask, and then we can just play the game and the guests can play with us. But yeah, next week, unfortunately I didn't bring the game with me to Indianapolis. I'm staying in a hotel room. I have, today's Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 more days, basically. It's 2 more nights, and then I come home Friday night. So, but which the mail is, I didn't know it was so interesting.
What?
But yeah, I mean, all these guys, they said, or the one guy that came in today, he said he thought to himself, I hope I never have to have a real job, when he was a letter carrier. And I'm like, well, I hope it's like that, because I've had a real job.
It's not much fun.
Right. So, but there's a lot of forms to remember what they are and what form you got to use for certain stuff and everything like that. So I think, what is it, a 3849? Do you know what that is?
No.
3849 is when you take a package and it has to be signed for and nobody's at home. That's what you leave there, saying the package is there at the post office.
Well,
Rachel wants to know again. She wants to know when you're coming to Disneyland.
I don't know, Rachel. Maybe if I become a millionaire tomorrow, I'll be there Saturday. Well, not really.
Well, no, you won't.
You have
They're
to
not
have
open.
reservations.
Disneyland is not open.
Oh, I didn't know they weren't open yet. I just assumed they were open.
Do you want to tell Rachel the good news?
Rachel, your package is coming.
So
you should get it, hopefully, maybe Monday next week, I think.
Yeah, now I have to send a pin to Bloom and Cheesa out in Seattle, and I have to send a bar of soap to Arlene down in Florida.
Kay also said that she'd be okay with taking out the Indiana stunt show.
Or updating it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was, like I said if they were to change Dinoland USA to Indiana Jones, I would see taking that out. Like I said, it sets on a lot of real estate, that show does, where you could either put a really big ride in or you could put a couple of rides in that area. And I think that would be really, or even put a new show in. So, but I do really, I like what they're doing at Hollywood Studios, but I still miss the whole studio part of it. So, and sometimes I kind of wish that they would have went in the direction that they were going to go in, where they were going to make it more themed to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And there's a lot of stuff you can see there. Starbucks is actually in the cab company that is actually from that movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Is that what that's from?
Yes. Yes.
I just knew it was called the Trolley Car Cafe.
They were actually supposed to have a Toontown ride, and it was supposed to be back there towards where Rock and Roller Coaster is, where you would actually leave,
They do have the Who Framed Roger Rabbit ride at Disneyland.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
But so we have gone over time, and like I said, like Margie said, next week we'll be bringing the game back. So we've already had our first winner, which was Kay Atwood, and we're going to play. I think our last game will probably be on October 28th, and then after that, we will go for the winner. So we're going to record each winner each week of Disney edition of Pictopia, and Kay can still play. If she wins again, that just even gives her 2 chances. And like I said, the prize is a $25 Disney gift card we're giving away. And since I'm the host, and Margie and Heaven play, they also have a chance of winning it. Maybe not Margie. That might look a little favoritism. Heaven, on the other hand.
It's okay. We can leave it to the people in the chat.
Okay. So, Margie, you're on mute.
I said I would rather watch somebody win that's watching our video.
Okay.
Me too.
But
I said whoever wins, I'm not a picky person.
Right.
You can buy me whatever you want with $25 gift card.
what was funny last night?
I'm just teasing.
What was funny last night on Gonzo's? Everybody was giving something away, and Bloom and Cheesa won twice. Right? He won a pin, and then he won the little hotel pin I held up and said I was giving away. I actually gave it away. We got to send it to him. So
Just a pen? Like a
oh,
writing pen?
I also gave away a bar of soap last night, Heaven. So, and Arlene, who's VP's wife, acted like she won something amazing.
Hey, I probably would have too. I
Some
wouldn't put
people
anything on
really
there.
like hotel soap.
Well,
Yes,
this
they
hotel
do.
soap is like a massage soap. It's got little bumps on it, so when you rub it up against you,
Yeah, but don't the bumps eventually like
yeah, they
go
do.
away?
They do, yes.
Yeah, but
And
the
then
first
and
use,
then
who
VP
cares?
says, "Okay, so Arlene, now you have a choice. Do you want the new bar or do you want the bar that Chris has used?"
Ew!
So, yes.
Ew!
That's
So,
disgusting.
but yeah, so next week we'll be back to playing Disney's Pictopia, and we will be picking a winner each week until the final day of October 28th. We'll have our last winner. And then the next Wednesday, I think we're going to use like what Gonzo uses, is like a spinning wheel. And we'll put everybody's names in there. If your name is in there twice, it's in there twice. We spin, and whoever it lands on, that's who's going to win our $25 Disney gift card. So, but
So
I
be
think
practicing your Disney skills.
right,
people.
right, and there's lots of questions on there because I can use the same card because they have several questions for just one card. So, but as for that, I think that's going to wrap it up. I think this was a great live stream. I don't know how you guys felt about it.
I liked it.
Well,
It was
Yeah.
good.
So, and let's see. So tomorrow I'll be on Disney Friends. I'll still be here in Indianapolis but I'll be on with Gonzo and Al for Disney Friends, and then I'm going to be editing a video for tomorrow, which shows you where I almost got kicked out of the mall in Muncie,
yeah.
and then Sunday I have my new live, which is at 7:00 on Sunday, called This Week in Disney, where we go through the news that happened this week. So. But as for that, I think that's going to end it up. And it's time for us to say goodbye. So we'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching. Thank you all in the chat. Kay, Rachel, Kat, VP. If I missed you, I'm sorry. But thank you all. Bye.
Bye.